We've had a lot of requests for doing exercise routines on the video. What we're going to do is a series, a progression, if you will, of the routine, starting with simple, basic, limited number of repetitions, and then working up to a fuller routine. Ideally, you want a routine to be at least 15 minutes, up to it can be more, 45 minutes to an hour if you get really intense and really into it. But minimal, I'm saying 15 minutes 3 times a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you want to be doing a routine. Be consistent with it, don't miss it. You have the break in between because eventually we're going to be working ourselves up to where it's vigorous enough that your body's going to need that rest period in between to recuperate and get you back where you need to be. So that's Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. What I suggest on the Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays is you do some cardio exercises. It can be some walking. If you're into jogging, you can do some jogging, swimming, biking, those kinds of things. It's going to get your cardio going. Maybe you can only walk 100 feet at a time. Do what you can do and keep at it till it increases. So what we're going to do, we want to get warming up before we start our routine today. As we get our routine started, we want to warm up. We want to get our blood flowing. We want to get our cardiovascular going a little bit. We want our temperature to elevate internally, which happens as our blood is flowing. So walking in place works. One thing that I like to do, which is a bit of an exercise, but it helps me get started. Rhenda, she doesn't like this one, but I do some of these kind of a squat, but it's a stretch that comes out. I know it has a better name than that.
Lunge.
Some people call them lunges. Rhenda calls them a lunge because she knows the right name. I find that when I'm exercising and talking, if I talk too much, my exercise slows down. If I exercise too much, my talking gets all jumbled up, so it's hard. What I'll do sometimes is go a little bit deeper if I'm capable of doing it, which gives you a little bit more. But I'm working on getting myself going. Now, I'm not going to do a full 5 minutes of this. I'd like to work up to that, but we are getting started. We're all brand new at this, so I'm going to do about a minute of this. I'm trying to calculate that in my head, but I'm going on how I feel. And I'll show you. We're just doing the lunge forward.
And they can walk to the side. They can walk in place. Do whatever's better for your body.
So this is another set of steps you can do. If you like to dance, you can probably be a lot more animated than I am to get it going. But we're getting our cardio going. We're getting ourselves warmed up. Have fun with it. Great time for the music to be going on, okay? So we're warmed up. We got things going. So we want to start. We're going to work from bottom to top. So that kind of gives us a way to remember where we are instead of all over the place and we get lost in it. What I want to start with today is, like I say, we're starting at the bottom. So I want to start with the bottom of our leg. So we're going to do these toe extensions. So if you watch, I'm up on my toes, then I'm up on my heels. Up on my toes, up on my heels.
And we're just doing 5 reps right now.
Yes. Our muscles come in pairs. We want to work both sides of the pair. That's why we're doing that. I've lost count. That's at least 5 or 6. So that's a good start for that. The next thing I want to do, I'm going to show you 2 versions of this. For those of you who can stand up, maybe you have to use a little bit of a balance help here. I'm going to do it from standing up, and I'm going to show you a related exercise and an adaptation for those of you who are sitting down. So what we're first going to do is we're going to go down into a squat. I can go down this far. You might only be able to go this far. If that's all you can do that much, okay? So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're in a chair, then we're going to be sitting in the chair. And maybe you can do it without your hands. Maybe you have to have your hands. So with your hands, you're going to put your hands on and help push yourself up. And then go back down. If you can do it without your hands, you're going to be doing this. And that's really what this exercise is about. We're going to keep ourselves going up and down. We're going to do 5 of these. There we go. So that's helped us with that lower part that's there. Now I want to do some stretching of these legs next. That's important to get ourselves, as we're getting started, that we're going to do some stretching out. So if you can align your feet with one another, we're going to stand up straight, keep our back straight up and down. We're putting our rear heel into the ground firmly, and we're pushing that leg back. So we're getting a good stretch in this leg down here. This is stretching it out and trying to get it aligned with the back so that it's getting strengthened and able to be what we need it to be, so it's not pulling on our back and causing us to be sore and stiff. We're going to hold this for 12 seconds. I'm doing some counting in my head on that while I'm talking. Can you believe I can do both at once? I can. Of course, I'm in charge. It's going to be the way I say. So I will be right no matter what. So I feel that's about enough. We're going to shift over to the other leg. Same thing. The foot's back. Heel's being pushed into the ground. We're straight in our back. We're pushing that heel down and we're holding it. I'm pushing back with my knee and with my leg, so I'm feeling the stretch from up here all the way down to my heel. I'm feeling those muscles stretch out. That's what we're wanting to get. So that leg's getting good and stretched out for us. And that's 10, 11, 12. You notice I started at 10. That way we got to 12 for sure. Now I want to work a little bit on the middle part of our torso, and what I want you to always keep in mind, we're keeping our core engaged. We're trying to squeeze it a little bit in here all the time. That's what we're working on strengthening, is this core. As we do more exercises in the progression, we're going to work on that more and more. It's crucial that that one is there. It's going to protect you. So we're going to start with some slow twists. Just twist yourself around. Nothing really magic about the form on this, but we want to be standing up as straight as we can. Trying to keep our shoulders back and standing straight up. We don't want to be hunching over. So we're going to do 5 of these. This is where we're starting. Remember, we're just starting out. We're being patient with ourselves. We're saying, I don't want to hurt me. I want to keep doing this every day, because I know if I can keep doing this and keep doing this, eventually I'll be able to do so much. I'm going to be strong. My muscles are going to get bigger. My bones are going to be forced to continue to build more. And my body will be the kind of body that can last for 120 years. That's my goal. So we've got that stretched around. Next, we're going to do an exercise that can open up your back and get it limbered out a bit and a little bit more flexible. Now, I'm going to be leaning forward. If you can only go a little ways, go a little ways. Flex those knees forward. And as you go down, you want your little rumpus here to stick out a bit. You don't want to try to push it down, but you're pushing it out. That's going to keep your body where it needs to be. But I'm going to lean over and I'm relaxing. I'm not holding it back and I'm not pushing it down. I'm letting it go where it's comfortable going. I'm going to let it stretch out. That's one thing we're trying to do right now, is stretch things out. We're not trying to strengthen so much today as we are to get limbered up, get our body so that it can move. That's where we have to start. We have to be able to move. Until our body can move, we really can't do a lot of strengthening with it. It's got to be able to move freely and easily and comfortably. And as we get there, then we can start working on making the bones stronger and the muscles stronger where they need to be. So, okay, we come up slowly. If you come up fast, what happens? Does your head just kind of do this type of thing? Absolutely. So come up slowly. Get yourself back to where you need to be. We've had some requests for more upper body for folks who are confined and really can't get up and about. So for those of you who can stand up and be up, I'm going to encourage you to do so. I'm going to demonstrate the movements that I'm going to do now from the chair for those of you who are in chairs. So as we're sitting down, what we need to do also is to try to keep our posture as upright as we can. We don't want to be doing this slumping over thing. We want to be keeping our shoulders back and ourselves sitting up straight. So we're going to start off with, we are going to use some weights. And what I want to demonstrate is that you don't have to go to the sporting goods store and buy yourself expensive weights, you can use, these cans are like £1 each. You can build up to bigger amounts of weight as you go forward. You can start with £1. So we're just going to do some upper arm curls with these to begin with, okay? 3, 4, 5. Now I also want to do some upright rows. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully you're watching the posture and you're catching on to what's happening there. So scooch forward in your chair a bit so you're on the edge of it, feet firmly on the ground. We're going to bend forward and we're going to do some flies. Now we're going to bring the arms straight out, bring them up as high as you can. Don't hurt yourself. Bring them up slow, let them down slow. It's that letting down slow that you need to concentrate on, in my opinion. It's 3, 4, 5. One more I want to show here for the upper body with the arms. If you have heart kinds of problems, this is one you may not be able to do. Hopefully you're talking to your doctor about what you can and can't do. This has you pushing your blood up for these arms up high. So let's put them up high. Then we're going to let them back like this and bring them up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I was just kidding about that being the last one. There is one more I want to do, and this has to do with working on the muscles that are down here. I know a lot of us end up with this extra stuff that Rhenda likes to call wings. It just kind of hangs down and doesn't do anything but get in the way. We want to work on that a bit. So I can't make the skin go away, and this exercising doesn't make the fat that is accumulated there go away, but it will tone up and strengthen the muscles. That's where we have to start. It's the eating right that's going to make all of the extra stuff go away. Skin's always going to be a challenge. But we're going to lean forward. We're going to put our arms back, okay, to where they're sitting back like this, and then we're going to bend at the elbows, bring our arms forward like that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, down go the cans. Now I'm going to do some deviation. I told you I was going to go from top to bottom, and that's true. The exception is going to be at the end. I am going to go to the floor and do some things on the floor that I believe can help us. So we're working our way up. We're coming up to the neck. So we're going to be looking to the side, and let's kind of keep ourselves relaxed. We're sitting up straight, but let's relax. Let's not be tense. We're not here to be tense. And we look to the other side. We're going to hold it for like a count of 2. We're back here for our second round here, going side to side. Remember, relaxing your back, relaxing your shoulders, keeping yourself sitting up straight. This is our third one. Count of 2 to the side. Fourth one. And number 5. Here we go, number 5. Count of 2 to the side. Now we're going to look down, chin to the chest if you can do that. Count of 2. Looking back as far as we can. Count of 2. That's the first one. Here we go on the second one. Remember, we're keeping our shoulders relaxed, our back relaxed. We're not tensing them, letting them relax. Trying to get some movement in our neck here so that we keep it limber. That's the third one, right? And we're going into the fourth one. And now for the fifth one. What you're going to find is the more of these we do, the easier they'll get, the better that they'll feel. So for those of you combined in chairs, I'm not sure of an adaptation for what I'm going to do down on the floor, but for the folks who aren't, this is some exercises that I want to show you that you can do. I'm not going to have you doing push-ups today. but we are going to do some forms of planks that I think are pretty important. I'm going to do just 2 planks today is all we're going to do. The first one, we're on our back. We can have our arms straight out. We have our feet pulled up to where they're flat on the ground. We're going to push ourselves up. Now, instead of holding it up there for a long time, we're just going to go up and down. We're going to do 5 of these up and down, and then we're going to hold it for 5. So you want your back to be straight from your shoulders to your knees. Hopefully I look that way. If I don't, I'm going to watch the video and make some corrections. That's what I'm striving for. So I'm not doing it fast, and I'm not throwing myself back down. I'm holding myself on the way down. That's 4. 1 more. This is the 5th one. Now we're going to hold for a count of 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So release, let yourself back down slowly. We're holding it up there. That's what our muscles need us to do. Now we're going to do a front plank. It's going to look a little bit like a push-up, but we're not going to push up and down. We're just going to plank ourselves out like this.
No, I do it on my knees. So can you show them the modifier?
For those of you who can't do your full weight, you can do it from your knees. You still want to have a fairly straight line from your knees up to your shoulders. You want to hold it there like that. For those of you who are doing it on your feet, you can get up on your toes and hold it straight. We've been doing it for about 5, so I think that's all we really want to do.
And can you show them one additional one on the knees and the elbow? That's a different one.
Yes.
So this is the way that I started out doing my planks, and it's still very difficult when this is the way I suggest you start.
Absolutely.
Knees and elbows.
I got ahead of this. I forget that I've been doing this a bit, and it's easy, which it'll get that way for you. Now, those of you who are carrying some of those extra pounds around, I know we don't talk about weight, but the fact that you have the extra makes it a little bit harder to exercise. I get it, and we're working at that, and that's why we have adaptations like that one. So what I suggest you do is a bit of cool down. There's a few different ways to cool down. One of them that I like, I'm going to try to do one, actually the best one for you. This is one that doesn't take a lot of strength. You may want to, because of issues with your back and not being limber, is have your feet up like this. If not, you can lay them all the way down, but for many of you, this is going to be the position that works the best. And we're going to just stay here for a minute or so. We're going to breathe. And we're going to relax. Now don't go to sleep. I'm not saying go to sleep, but relax enough that you could. And we're just letting ourselves come back down, calm back down. Wasn't a real tough workout today. We're getting a habit started. This is about habits more than anything else. And it's also about motivation. Nobody can motivate you. This is a decision you have to make. And what you have to do is have a vision of where you're going to be, of how you're going to be. You're getting rid of that processed food. You're not eating as much of the refined sugars for sure. You're decreasing the quantity of carbohydrates that you take in and balancing it out more with some proteins, some fantastic vegetables, the right kinds of fats and oils that things are being cooked in. And that in and of itself is going to drop tremendous amounts of weight from you, and you're going to be able to move better and do better. And as you consistently do these exercises, your energy levels, because you're getting the right nutrition, are going to be returning to you. You're going to feel better about what's going on, and you're going to look forward to these times. It's going to feel good to exercise. May not the first day, may not the first couple of weeks, but one of these days you're going to wake up and say, wow, I can't wait till I'm exercising because I feel so good when I'm exercising. Thanks for watching. Remember, keep at it. Let's do this series, this progression, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Then Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. Let's get out. Let's walk, run, bike.
But this one's coming out on Saturday.
But this one's coming out on Saturday. But I'm suggesting to you 3 times a week, give yourself a break in between. Keep at it. be patient with yourself. Congratulate yourself for taking the time and showing the effort to do it. And remember, when you're exercising, you're going to need, I should have my glass of water here as to prompt me. Let's be drinking some water. We've used up some, and that's what we need to do. We should have some before we exercise. Sorry, I forgot to do that. And we need to have some at the end.